The coronavirus pandemic has highlighted needs across the United States. Demand at food banks is up 60% just in the last few months. And private aviation company MealsUp has partnered with the nonprofit organization Feeding America, mobilizing its network to donate meals to Americans who are food insecure. And joining us now with their progress, because we talked about this a couple of times already. We're 5 months into that initiative. Kenny Dichter, CEO of MealsUp, and Claire Babineaux-Fontenot. She is CEO of Feeding America. And you guys have done amazing, guys and gals have done amazing work. Kenny, why don't you bring us up to date? Because I think initially the goal was one thing, and you eclipsed that by a factor of 5. Have I got that right?
Yep, Joe. 167 days ago, came on this show with Russell Wilson. By the way, Russell had a great game yesterday, almost a perfect game. And apropos to be here with Claire and back on CNBC with a great report, we pledged 10 million meals on March 31, and I'm pleased to report we're just getting started, but we've outperformed. We're almost at 50, right? A shade before 50. Hopefully by the time this broadcast is over, we hit that number. But I would just say, Joe, as I said on March 31, this is really a call out to everybody watching the show. We have a lot of CEOs, a lot of founders, a lot of entrepreneurs that watch every morning. We have to use our resources as companies to do good. There's over 50 million Americans that are food insecure that don't know where lunch or dinner is today. And I just think that it's imperative that companies like MealsUp, and again, my inspiration, Russell Sierra, Tom Giselle, JJ, our ambassadors, really showed us the light. And the orange plane today that we're taking delivery on from Textron, Ron Draper and Scott Donnelly, amazing support. By the way, they're 500,000 meals on top of helping us design the plane and do delivery. So with that, again, my quarterback, 167 days later, is Claire Babineaux. She's been a great partner, a real inspiration, and Claire should be the star of this segment.
Yeah, and Claire, that's what I wanted to ask you, because, Kenny's not your average marketer or sales. I mean, I don't know how well you know him. So I figure if he says 10 million, he's going to do 50. But I think a boring CEO could do 10. I mean, and you don't need every single person to overdo it by a factor of 5. Why can't you get everyone on board, even the ones that aren't any good at marketing and raising money?
Well, part of the answer is this show right now, and you having that call out there. As Kenny said, he's been a wonderful ambassador for our work, along with a bunch of other people, some of which he's already mentioned, and there are too many for me to mention in the time that we have on the show. Together, we've been able to inch toward progress, but there's a lot of work left to be done. As he said, we're looking at around 50 million people in this country who know where they're going to get their next meal for themselves, for their kids. I'm particularly concerned about what's going on with children right now. We're looking at somewhere around 20 million in the country who will be food insecure as a result of this pandemic, along with food insecurity that existed even before it started. So we definitely need help. Your audience is the audience that can really help us. Factor of 5, factor of 10, factor of 20. Come on, guys. They're competitive out there, aren't they? Let's compete on this. This is something really good.
Kenny, you can hear. I don't know whether you can hear Claire's audio breaking up a little bit. I was able to hear almost everything Claire said. But Kenny, do you know the facts for that Claire was also going to talk about in terms of how much worse food insecurity in America has gotten in the past? I mean, in 2020, the numbers are staggering, and there's people that never had to do this before. 4 out of 10 are new to this whole process of not having enough to eat.
The pandemic has clearly affected minorities, people of color, and new people in this crisis in a way that we never could have predicted. And again, it gives us even more energy to get behind this. 4 in 10 people visiting food banks here are new visitors, which is not a good stat. Number two is, I didn't realize this as I was getting ready for this interview. Claire explained to me that because restaurants and the hospitality business are getting hit the way they're getting hit, there are many, many people in this country that work in a restaurant or a fast food place just to get their meal done for the day and for their potential bringing it home for their family at a discount. So with restaurants and hospitality getting hit, there's a lot more people out there that need to get fed. And many, many restaurants are lifelines for Feeding America and how they get their supply, and that's gone away. You know, one big thing that Claire explained to me that I think we have plenty of people watching the show today that can help. There's a lot of food that is donated to Feeding America or available that can't get to the 200 plus food banks that they support. So that said, is there are logistics folks here watching the broadcast that they don't just need meals and food from suppliers. We need technology and logistics to help us. Jeff Bezos, I know you wrote a big check, 1 billion meals. I know Russell helped inspire that, but we need the folks that are experts at getting things from A to B to C to jump in here as well and reach out and call Claire.
Claire, I don't. We'll try your feed again. We'll see if we'll take a shot. But I mean, think about, and we know this. How many kids rely on school to get either a free or reduced lunch? So I know one of my children has 1 day a week. So that's 4 days that this hybrid schooling system is making that a major problem. It used to be 10 million kids. Now it's 17 million kids are food insecure as well. And you don't automatically think of that. So we need to address that as well.
Yes, that's all true. I think Kenny really did a good job of talking through what the key issues are. When you learn that kids can't get back to school safely, so many of those kids, 22 million children, rely upon free and reduced lunches. That means they're not getting access to that nutrition, and they need a way to supplement it. So that's the way that people who are watching this broadcast, they can help with that. We have made some progress, but there's so much left to do.
Kenny, while we have you here, I just want to talk about Wheels Up quickly, because we've had this discussion many times about what the pandemic is likely to do to your business. What's the state of what you're trying to do? And that is, I don't know whether you call it democratize air travel, private air travel that way, but however you want it, to bring the cost structure down to where more people can do it. Has the pandemic helped your business, hurt, or is it sort of about to break even?
No, Joe, we're very fortunate that, we're able to serve our almost 10,000 members, and our pilots and our staff have been unbelievable. I would tell you that the new member velocity is very, very firm. The addressable market for private aviation in the United States going into the pandemic was roughly 100,000 people and businesses. It's feeling like 200,000 and 300,000. And the flying, the demand, which is driven by 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is people moving around. Bucket 2 is traditional vacation. And bucket 3 is business. 2 buckets, traditional vacation and business, aren't happening right now. But I would say the Wheels Up members moving around have got our flying July, August into September at pre-COVID levels. And I think the tailwinds put us in great position. It's been 7 years, T-Row, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, Delta behind us to really look at the public markets, because ultimately we want to be the Airbnb, the open table. We want to be a tech enabler that makes this truly democratized and start talking about 3, 5, 10 million people and businesses that can use private aviation to get from A to B. And I think we're in great position there to do so. I would tell you that, Feeding America, Claire, I can promise you, as we're moving down and we're getting bigger, that you can count on us forever. The orange plane is going to be in the fleet forever. Right. But I feel very fortunate, Joe. And Ed Bastian, who is now our 25% partner, I get inspired by Ed's leadership every day. You learn a lot about a leader when things aren't going so well.
Well, we'll hopefully a lot more will step up after seeing this. And you're right, we have a lot of influencers watching, and hopefully that's going to help. Claire, I want to thank you and good luck. Thanks for everything you're doing. Kenny, thanks for what you did as well. And we'll have you back again soon. Maybe you'll be at, 100 million meals by then, Kenny.
Yes.
And much more for Claire. Thank you. Andrew.